Hello. Oh. It is Wellness Wednesday. I am Lori Hoy.
And I'm Dr. Fawn Schaefer.
How are y'all? How y'all today?
Yeah.
Oh goodness. Now I don't know if you caught the that rhymes with what I put in there. Myth or not, we're going to talk about some myths that happen in the wintertime. And I just told Dr. Fawn I wore this scarf today to work. Not that I want snow, but just to represent the fact that it's starting to turn to colder weather, sort of here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's supposed to be in the 50s all week.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining either. Not in the least. I didn't wear a coat today. I mean, that is unheard of in Pennsylvania. But we're going to try and bust. It's been an interesting day. I will say that. Okay, 6 days off, and then I have to go back to work today with 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds, 8 and 9.
Piece of cake.
Yeah, piece of cake. Okay, so anyway, we're going to try and bust some myths about things that happen in the winter with your health.
Right. All right. Because everybody knows that this time of year is known as cold and flu season. So, why is that? Well, what do people think when they think of getting sick? Like we were just talking last night. You go outside with your wet hair.
Yeah. Like I remember Mom saying that you can't go outside with your head wet.
You'll catch cold.
You'll catch cold. Put a coat on. I do that to the students at school. I mean, they don't have a coat on and it's cold. Where's your coat? And I still do it. But today we're going to talk about that a little bit.
They should wear a coat, but not because they're going to get sick because of it.
No.
So here's what happens. This time of year is known as cold and flu season because a lot of different things happen. We come indoors more because it's cold outside. We wear more clothing so we don't get as much sunlight. And because we're all indoors together, yes, there's more chance that we can pass germs around. But those germs are with us every day no matter what. That's the thing you don't realize. So
yes,
it's not really about whether you're going to catch the cold or the flu germs. It's really about how healthy you are. They're around you every day. It's just whether or not those germs are going to be able to grow in your soil. So you have to keep your soil healthier so that they can't do what they want to do.
I like that. To grow in your soil.
And yeah,
your soil. That sounds so earthy.
So basically, we're just probably going to end up reiterating everything that we already talk about on a daily basis anyway. But the healthier you keep you, the more likely you can ward off all that stuff.
Okay, so here's a myth, maybe, that you can help bust. If I just eat or drink or take supplements for vitamin C, that's going to help me stay away from colds.
Busted. First of all, a lot of people think vitamin C is what is the number one thing to take when you're sick. First of all, when you take the supplements, that's not really the best form of vitamin C anyway, which I'll digress on that later, I'm sure. But the number one vitamin you need to boost your immune system is vitamin D.
Which is sunshine.
That's where the sunshine comes in, which we get less of it here in the northeastern United States in the winter. And we, like I said, we cover up. So when we go outside, we don't get any natural sun exposure anyway. So when our vitamin Ds plummet, which most people in this part of the country don't have enough vitamin D to begin with, that's where your immune system starts to suffer.
Yeah, now actually I had posted yesterday just asking people about when the last time they had their annual physical and whether they have blood work done, and someone had mentioned that she has to take vitamin D and she gets that monitored a lot because she has a deficiency. And I think most of us here in this area probably do naturally because of where we live. I mean, maybe not to the point where it's detrimental to our health, but it's something that we should really track.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes. That's my number one supplement I recommend to my patients for a whole host of ailments. So you're never wrong to take a vitamin D supplement. It's best to get it from the sun if you can. But your vitamin D supplement, you want to, of course, make sure it's a good quality supplement. And it should come with vitamin K, actually. D3 and K2 are two that they usually come together because the K helps you absorb D. But I digress. D is something that you want to take in the summertime. I take 5,000 units of it because in the summer I get more sun. But in the winter, I take 10,000 units of it. But if you look at a typical multivitamin, you're probably looking at 400 units. So people think, oh, I take a multivitamin, I'm good with my vitamin D. I always suggest taking an extra supplement on top of your multivitamin.
Right, always, and I always hear that it's best to try and get as much as you can from food, but we always can't do that because of what's in season and what's not in season, which makes sense. And the quality of the food, and that's something that we're always talking about is what you need to choose as far as that's concerned. Now, I think broccoli.
Oh, you're gonna ask me D sources.
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I think leafy greens. A lot of leafy greens have it because they absorb it from the sun as well. It's part of that whole thing. It's really interesting actually if you just look it up and research a little bit. But anyway, I'm sorry, she didn't prepare for that question, so that wasn't really fair.
She wings it. Yeah.
So what if I am... Okay, so vitamin D, let's just go on that line. And I've also been told that you need to wear sunscreen and sunblock because of over sun exposure burning your skin. So how am I supposed to get vitamin D from the sun if I'm supposed to wear sunblock?
Well, sunblock's not exactly the greatest thing for you either. You're going to think we never let you do anything. But
you never let me do anything.
There are all sorts of chemicals in sunblock. If you actually have seen the research that skin cancer has gone up since people started wearing sunblock. So, the sun isn't bad for you. You just have to do it in moderation.
Right.
You shouldn't go out and get burnt to a crisp like a lobster just because.
So it's monitoring your exposure. It's not actually wiping this chemical all over. Now, I know there are some more natural types of sunblock, like babies. I think about them. We do have to protect them. And you don't want them fully clothed in the sun because then they can overheat because they're not really used to monitoring their own temperature, right, when they're little.
Right.
So, I mean, it's kind of while I can think of when I was young, I know my parents never slathered me with lotion at all. Yeah. And I think I'm not saying I don't because I've not really had my skin checked. That's probably one thing I need to do is go to a dermatologist and have that whole thing done. But
yes.
Okay, it's getting hot.
Once a year, you should get your skin checked to watch for changes and all that kind of stuff.
Sorry, I'm not going to strip. I promise. I'm just a little warm right now sudden. Woo.
But let's talk about another thing. What do they tell you to do when you're sick? When you have the flu, they tell you to what? Eat chicken soup and drink ginger ale.
And the other one was, what was it? It goes along with this. Starve a cold, feed a fever.
Yeah,
something like that. Something like that. Yeah.
So let's talk about why chicken soup and soda are bad. Bacteria and viruses feed off of sugar. So when we always talk you shouldn't eat sugar to begin with. You should limit that. But when you're sick and you're eating crackers and ginger ale and chicken noodle soup and all that just turns right into sugar in your body, and it actually feeds the thing that's inside you you're trying to kill. So if you're actually feeling ill, like cold or flu, you really shouldn't eat sugar. Don't starve. You should eat healthy, green, leafy vegetables that have all the vitamins and the antioxidants in them that you will help to kill whatever's in you. Right. But you don't want to feed it sugar. Any type of simple carbohydrate or that it can eat.
I remember when I was young and sick, and Mom, I'm not blaming. It's just what we know now. Jello water. So she would make Jello, but she wouldn't solidify it. And it would be what we drank to keep liquids going in. Jello water.
I've never heard of that one.
Or flattened soda if you had a stomach ache. Like you would take Coke and make all these different. I mean, and it's just stuff we didn't know. And so what part of what we want to do is share with you that we call them old wives' tales.
Right.
And I'm sure at some point in time in history, when it happened for one person, they tried it on everybody.
Right.
And it probably worked for maybe 2 out of the 10.
And now we just do it out of habit because you don't even think about it. You're like, I don't feel well. I'm going to have some crackers and ginger ale or toast. And that's their first thing to eat in the morning because they don't feel well. And I don't know. It's just, I think it's habit more than actual knowledge of what will make you better.
And I know one, I've read, and again, I don't know if this is for sure, so maybe you might be able to touch on it as well. If you're feeling symptoms of the flu, obviously hydrating is one of the best things that you can continue to do as much as you can possibly get in you. With water. Is soaking in Epsom salts.
That can help too. That actually does it's a detoxifying process, so it can help you get the minerals and things that you need in your body, and so that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, and then put things back in like magnesium. What else is there? I can't remember the other one I read.
I don't know, but minerals. There's like a lot of them.
So always have Epsom salts on hand at home, and they're not very expensive actually. And you just sprinkle them in your bathtub. And I think is the process of also in a hot bath sweating is also getting out all those toxins as well, correct?
It can. Mm-hmm, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then if you're like all stuffy and stuff, sometimes if you put some essential oils in the water, that'll help you, like eucalyptus or peppermint or things like that actually help you to open up your airways. That'll help too in a hot bath. So,
or you could just come to the salt room.
Oh yeah, or you could come to the salt room.
And we've showed you that before.
Yeah. So that's when you breathe in the salt. It helps to kill anything. It's antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, and it helps to kill and help the bacteria and dry you up from whatever gook you're having.
Right.
And that being said too, you should also know that getting adjusted actually helps to boost your immune system. Before I had the salt room, a lot of people, when they would have sinus infections and respiratory stuff, they'd come in and they'd get adjusted because they knew getting adjusted helped them get over it faster. It boosts your immune system. A lot of people don't realize that. I'll have people call the office and say, oh, I can't come in today, I'm sick. And I say, oh my gosh, get your butt in here. That's the best time to get adjusted. And they're always worried about getting me sick. And I say, you know how many sick people I touch every single day? I very rarely get sick because I keep myself healthy now.
Right. So. Right. And so there's also that whole hand sanitizer thing.
Oh gosh.
We really shouldn't be bathing in hand sanitizer.
Did you know the research about that?
Well, yeah, I've read some. So what did you hear? What did you read?
Put that on your hands, it actually opens up your pores for the next little bit. So anything you touch for the next little bit after the hand sanitizer is more likely to get through your skin. So it's
well, that makes sense.
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah, it's just.
And I guess if there's nothing else available, again, we talked about that. If there's nothing else available and you're truly filthy, dirty, whatever. But you know what? I think the old adage, a little dirt doesn't hurt,
absolutely,
is actually a true one, not a myth.
Yeah. I think kids should play in the dirt. I think kids should be exposed to other kids. It builds their immune system. It makes you stronger. So,
yeah. And obviously eating a wide variety of vegetables, boosting your immunes, getting supplements that are viable supplements. Always read the labels. Because I just shared yesterday.
She found a no-no in her tea.
My tea! And I don't drink that tea often, but I wanted a cup of tea last night after I was finished with my eating window. And I thought, oh, chai tea, that sounds great. And I had decaf, so I thought, oh, I'm just going to read so I had to look it up. Soy lecithin. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, go through my particular post this morning. I posted, I think it was around 8 o'clock. I set it to post and read a little bit more about it and just research. You know, is there any? I know, like a lot of times. Hear me as an example because I did it this morning. There we go. One of the other things that people do is they instantly go to the internet and Google, and then they find all this horrible, horrible stuff.
The flu can just be the flu, people. You're not gonna. If you Google it, that's the worst thing. When a patient comes in and sits down and says, "So I got on WebMD," and I'm thinking, "Oh my gosh, you think you're gonna die tomorrow? That's what you're gonna do if you Google things." I mean, your body's smart. So here's the one thing that people think I know. They think I'm nuts, but when you're sick, you're actually not sick. You're really healthy. When you have a fever, that's your body saying, ooh, there's something in me I don't like, and let me raise the temperature a little bit, cook it, and get rid of it. That's a good thing. That's your body doing what it's supposed to do.
Right.
That mucus and gook that comes with a sinus infection, that's your body sensing something is in there it doesn't like. It's trying to push it out and kill it that way. Even vomiting, as much as it's not fun, or diarrhea, as much as it's not fun, that's your body trying to expel something. So what's the first thing that we do when we get like that? The first thing we want to do is go to the pharmacy and clear out the cold flu
Mucinex
section.
I've done that.
And I say,
I've done it.
like, you want to give your body a chance to fight that. If you start taking those things, that all those medicines do is suppress your symptoms. They don't kill the bug. So if the bug's still in there, being able to do what it's doing, because you lower your fever and you get rid of your mucus and you stop the vomiting or whatever, you're actually letting it live in you longer. So as much as it sucks, I know we all hate to be sick.
Yeah.
If you just tough it out for a day or two, it'll actually be gone a lot faster.
Right, and we could go on a whole other episode about antibiotics.
Oh gosh. I guess I'll keep it short. We get them way too early. Like, how do I say this nicely? As soon as everybody gets a sniffle, what do? They run to the urgent care. They run to their doctor. Not that there's, we always say, there's a time and a place for doctors.
Absolutely.
But doctors know, they feel pressured. They know you want something. You're in their office, and if they say, go home and let it just cook out.
Can I get a Z-Pack, please? I used to be that person because I had a chronic sinus infections. I can't even tell you the last time I had a sinus infection. I might get something that feels like it's coming, but I visited you. I came for an adjustment. I did the salt room. I tried everything else other than getting medication, and within like 3 days, it was really a lot better.
Right.
And where if I was taking some other kind of medication, it would have lasted 7 to 10 days.
Weird, right? And those antibiotics. I mean, sometimes antibiotics are for bacteria.
Right.
And so a lot of things are the flu virus and the cold virus. They aren't bacteria. So when you have an antibiotic for a virus, it's not going to help you anyway, but people feel better because, I have an antibiotic, I'm going to get better now. And all that does is create superbugs, which you're right, that's a whole different...
Right, it's a whole different show.
But yeah, so...
Not that we won't hit it.
There's a time and a place, and I know some people,
absolutely.
it's truly needed, but don't rush. Just give your body a minute. It'll get better faster.
Our bodies are smarter than our brains.
Absolutely.
Our minds, I guess. Yeah. How we want to say that. Our bodies are really why they're built to do that. They're built to fight infection. They're built to regenerate the healthy cells. And yes, there are times where your body has to take an extra couple days to get the army back together, like raise your temperature, like you were saying, or your army of white blood cells to make sure that they can fight off all those things. And granted, there are times where your immune system can't do it on its own, and that's when you need to consult a physician. And by all means, I am not saying do not go to your doctor. That is not. I am not advocating that. I'm just saying. We're just saying, try some other things first holistically. Try eating a better diet. Try making sure you're hydrated.
Getting enough sleep.
Getting enough rest is another big one because yes, I'm trying really hard. I'm getting better. That is probably, I would think, one of the number one things because your body repairs itself. And I think that's crazy ingenious. Yeah. It repairs itself while you sleep. You don't have to do anything but lay there.
So the holiday, if you think about it, again, cold and flu season is also holiday season. Halloween through Christmas, which we're eating candies and sugary things, and we are running ourselves ragged because we're always so stressed at this time of year. And of course we're going to get sick because our body is just, we beat it down. So this is the time I'm trying to encourage all of my patients and my Whole30 group to, you know how everybody wants to make New Year's resolutions and they're like, I'll do that January 1st. I'll do that January 1st. Do it now.
Do it now.
Take better care of yourself through the holidays.
Absolutely.
So then when you actually have a start on getting, eating healthier, exercising, getting enough rest, doing all those self-care things, by the time January 1st comes around, you'll have a good start on your New Year's resolution already.
And yes, I had someone contact me the other day inquiring about some of the things that I do with my clients, and she said, I'm just going to wait till January. And I said, well, okay, that's okay if you want to wait till January, but what are you going to do now? Like, what are you going to do from now until January? Because right now is the time that you need to start really concentrating on your health because of it being the flu season, the cold season, the sinus infection, the whatever. And that's because of your stress levels and not eating properly, just like we said. And it's kind of a theme.
Yeah. It's
kind of a thing.
If you keep with the essentials of exercise, eating right, sleeping well, getting adjusted, and taking some time for massage and other self-care things.
And exercising doesn't have to be 7 hours in the gym either. To me, believe me, as much as I love fitness, 30 minutes and I'm done. I don't really need anything else other than that.
Yeah.
Yes, I teach an hour-long dance fitness class, but that's a little bit more about having fun and being around other people. But for my workout regularly, it's only about 30 minutes, and that's all I need.
Yeah, it's actually what's the whole 80% nutrition, 20% fitness, right? So as long as you're getting your workout in and you're eating right, everything else is going to fall
I think it's actually
place.
going a little bit higher than that now. I think they're teetering on whoever they are, us, we're the they.
The people.
90, 10, you know. So anyway, so hopefully we were able to shed a little light on some of the myths out there that you can actually change your health by changing a couple things and letting it heal itself a little bit.
Yeah, and start now, not January.
Don't wait.
You'll be happy. Then you won't spend the holidays sick.
Yeah, call us.
Yeah,
because we can help you.
We can help you.
Yeah. All right, guys. I hope you had a wonderful Wednesday. If you have any topics that you would like for us to address on Wednesdays, please feel free to either message one of us or drop a comment in the replay if you're just coming on now, or if you've stuck with us live the entire broadcast. I almost said prodcast.
But yeah, we need some ideas.
Yes,
so give us something to talk about.
I mean, we have some things, but we would like to hear from you. What is it that you're interested in hearing about? All right. Thanks, guys, for tuning in, and we'll see you next Wednesday.
Have a great night.
All right, bye.
See ya.
I can't turn it off.